everyone. I am Allison Hoyle and I am going to give you a little video introduction to Bloom's taxonomy. So in the lesson already, you've learned about Bloom's taxonomy and the 6 different levels that move from low-level thinking to higher-level thinking. So we have at the very bottom, remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. So as you move up the pyramid, you increase the depth of understanding and knowledge. So down at the bottom with, remember, that's basically just recalling facts, basic concepts. You're not really getting into asking students to go into their thinking. Then you have understand, which is explaining the ideas or concepts. Apply. This one's pretty fun. They use all the information they know and they have to then apply it to different situations and scenarios. Analyzing, this one is big with compare and contrast. Is drawing those connections, having students make connections between ideas. Evaluate, justify a stand or decision. This one is done really easily with arguing or defending their opinion on things. And the last one is create or produce a new or original work. This one is really big in STEM because we are literally asking students to come up with new things. It's so exciting. This one is a little light bulb, which I thought was a really cool way to think about it with Bloom's taxonomy. So as you move through the light bulb to the very top, you get a higher level thinking skills. So a little example of how these terms could be used in a classroom or in your letter. So your assignment was to think of your own topic and come up with 3 questions that you would like to ask or could ask to help with getting a deeper understanding of what you are talking about. So for remember, that's like recall, those are basic things. So I said you would define kinetic energy, list the steps, and in a letter it could be like, what do you like? So you're just having students create lists and not really explain anything in their letter back to you. Understand, we're going to a deeper level, a little bit higher level. You're wanting people in your letters to show some sort of understanding in what they are talking about. So describe the rock cycle, summarize the text. In your letter, you might see, how did it work? So how did the problem you were talking about, how did that work out? Or how did the issue you were talking about in class work out? The third row up is apply. So remember, that one is using it in a new situation. So maybe using data forecast the weather for your area. Another way we could see that in science is illustrate how food moves through the body. In your letters, it could be, have you ever used what you learned in class at home and what happened? So it's just taking and applying things in different concepts in different places and seeing what would happen. Then we have analyze, examining in detail, getting into those fine areas, calculating force from this information in the story, looking at relationships. What is the relationships between the tsunamis and earthquakes? In your letters, why do you think it's important to study art? So many kids love art. How can that, what is the relationship between art and science? That would just blow some kids' minds. Next one, evaluate. We're almost at the very top. So that's changing it, bringing it in. So how could you test to see if the water cycle works? Could you propose an alternative way to purify water than what we learned about in class? In my job, we test a hypothesis. What would you like to test? How would you do it? And the very top of that pyramid, create. Taking everything you know and presenting it and using everything to make a final product. How would you prove Newton's first law of motion? Based on what you know, how would you explain climate change? And in your letters, give me your recommendations. Have students create with you. I hope you take all of this information, apply it to your letters, and get those kids really thinking, making those perfect connections through writing.